This video, we're going to be breaking down Astro and Prodigy in the Madden 25 Kickoff Challenge. This is a day one of the live event. And Astro is going to be showing up to this game, kind of doing some unique things on defense that I wanted to kind of take some time to learn from. And then also Prodigy has kind of always been a tough player, really a really good regs player. And when normally good regs players play good defense, play pretty good defense, and they also freestyle really well. Astro is also widely considered to be probably the best, probably top 5 offensive player in the world over the last 4 or 5 years. Really just consistently shown that he's one of the better offensive players in the world. And he always has a really good blitz, really good defense. He kind of plays defense a little bit differently. I think the way that he sees defense is if he can force a turnover, if he can get 1 or 2 stops a game, he feels pretty good. So he is going to be, I believe he might be in Falcons offensive playbook to start here. I did want to break this down real quick. Prodigy is going to start the game out here in some match coverage, and you are seeing some players go to this now. So as you see here, Prodigy is going to be in this 4-3 even 6-1 defense. This defense is going to be really effective this year, and the reason why is because you could send both of these guys off the edge and get good 6-man pressures. But also the other thing that's really good about this is a send 3 or send 4 shed defense. Here, what what Prodigy is doing is he's going to run a send 4 shed defense out of cover 4 quarters, where basically we have these inside quarters, outside quarters on the outside. Now, what happens is, though, this section of the field is going to play the whole section of the field is going to be matching, but this section is going to play a box check, and Astro is going to show a one-play touchdown type of combo here. So we'll take a look at his combo so we can kind of see if you're looking to beat match. This is something you could do. So this might be a slant route. We have a drag route, and then we have a post. As you see, it pulls this inside quarter in. And what Astro is wanting to do is, you see how this guy is delaying his match? There is a window here that he's trying to hit to basically kind of put this out in front of the receiver and rat catch this. Almost hits it here. And Wiggins just, I think from a speed perspective, catches up and is able to swat the ball out of the air. So kind of I feel like the first drive is really significant in any kind of Madden game, because you kind of get a feel for what your opponent wants to do. Do they want to send 5 out every play? Do they want to play match? Do they want to play man? Do they want to just kind of mix a bunch of different coverages together? Do they want to blitz? Do they want to play shed defense? Those are some of the things that you're trying to kind of identify. Now, right here, he's going to go to I think this is the clear-cut, one of the better route combos in the game. It's the post drag in the middle of the field, and then we have a streak and a short corner. So what we know about Madden 25, here he sends 5, and watch the sheds that he will get from 6-1. You see just instant, gets a nice shed here, but essentially what's happening? Well, we have a seam streak. Seam streaks in this game are super powerful. We have a stemmed corner route. Stemmed corner routes get underneath a lot of zones, very effective. You can throw it right over here. Oftentimes, they're going to have to switch stick onto this player and defend that. And guess what that leaves open? It leaves all this space and really this seam open. So here, Astro sees the seam streak. He's going to throw it a little bit late and is going to get stopped. Yeah, I do believe Astro is in Falcons book. I think a lot of pro players right now that were in Colts to start of the year are shifting over to the Falcons playbook. We are going to be doing an offensive ebook out of the Falcons book. We have one out of Colts as well already. And then we are going to be doing defensive ebooks on 6-1. And I think we have that literally being recorded as we speak in our school community. And then we also are going to be, we actually have already dropped the 3-4 odd that Astro is going to be using in this game. So if you guys want to check out all those ebooks, you get everything by being a member of our school site for just $10. The link is going to be in the description if you want to check it out. Love this combo here, a little motion over, kind of creating bunch strong offset, if you will. And now the purpose of this flat route is one of the biggest counters to this combo has been to utilize a soft squat on this player, because the soft squat will match this corner, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put this defender in conflict. And so if this defender drops down to the flat, which he would if he was a soft squat, the corner will be open. If, let's say it's like a traditional cover for quarters, this guy should stay on this route, but we canceled the match and by motioning this running back over as well. So if this guy drops back and there's no flat defender, this is going to be open. Now, if this guy drops back and there's a flat defender, this corner can be thrown over here. So it's kind of a really important piece of how Astro is going to counter how Prodigy's playing defense here. So you see, if you look, it's just drop zone. Off rip, we know. Now we see the conflict player. He's drifting back. This is wide open. We should throw a corner out right here to the right side. A little late on the read. Actually sees his post open. And one thing that is very common, too, that you're seeing in these high-level games is they are anticipating the switch stick significantly. They are kind of putting a significant amount of their offense into trying to anticipate switch sticks so that they don't kind of throw an inadvertent pick, for example. And here Astro misses the extra point. I don't know why he's on that kick meter. Now, Prodigy is going to be in a new offense. Actually, I want to say, I don't know exactly what playbook he's in, but this trips tight end flex formation is actually missed a lot of his first drive with the technical timeout that happened. But he's going to be in this trips tight end flex. Astro is going to be in 3-4 odd. We're going to talk about that maybe on the next possession a little bit more. But gets down here. And the reason why Astro is in 3-4 odd, or actually, no, he is going to be in 3-3 cub, I believe. He's in 3-4 odd. Yeah, he's actually in 3-3 cub. So that must be his trips defense. Sometimes guys will have better, different forms that they like against bunch-based offenses versus trips-based offenses. So the reason that he's running this trips tight end flex is for this play right here. You got a sharp post, you got the cheap motion. And that should have been a switch stick pick, honestly. He just kind of didn't quite get the job done there. Now, Prodigy actually makes his extra point. And Astro is going to be in this. So you see here, again, this motion over, cancels match. You get this. Astro loves that combo. I don't know about that one. That's like a drag slant post. I feel like the spacing's not the greatest. But this is another reason why these guys are in this playbook here for this play with the cheap motion. And here you see him going back to that combo. Look at that right side guy. Real nice. Now, the one thing I think about Falcons is I don't think they have a 4 strong. So I think you always have to motion into 4 strong, which would probably, in my opinion, be a little bit of a weakness. Bunch strong is just so good. Love that combo. And you're seeing Astros kind of using very simple combos to space the field horizontally to open up throwing lanes. Because what you want to do this year, especially this year, I've never seen a Madden where the underneath passing is more powerful than this year. I mean, the zones just cannot, it's very difficult for them to cover some of these plays. Look at this combo right here. So if he switch sticks over here, and then we have the seam streak, I'm telling you, I really believe, at least at this point in the year, if you don't have a seam streak on pretty much every single play that you're running, you're probably doing your offense a disservice. Because seam streaks, I've never seen them be better. I've never seen seam streaks be better. I've never seen underneath passing as a whole concept be better. Just stretching the underneath horizontal space is really, really effective. Little red zone. See what he's cooking up here in the red zone. Little run. Nothing really there. 6-1 is widely considered to be the best red zone defense in the game. He's going to go to a touch pass, try to get outside here. Yeah, it did not work at all. And now we're in a 3rd and long. And this is, if you're Prodigy in this game, this is what you want. I mean, you want to get them to about here. I mean, this is a great position for Prodigy. 3rd and goal. It's hard to score down here. You got your 6-1, which is really an advantage to the defense here just because of the way the space works. Look at this combo. Little hitch, little seam streak, little slant. That slant might be open late. And I don't know how Prodigy did not switch stick to that. But he is able to get in there for 7. And that's kind of a traditional combo that's been really good in the red zone for the last couple of years, is that Basically a slant on one side and then a hitch on the numbers. Really, really effective. All right, so now we're going to get a good look at Prodigy's offense and kind of talking about what he's doing. And I think he's in the. I want to say he's either in Lions or he's in Eagles playbook. Okay, so here motion over little trips power play. But you'll see here that this trips tight end flex is kind of the formation that these guys really like now. This is kind of the new trips tight end, and the reason this is really good is because of all the cheap motion plays within it, and also again seam streaks. Now he's going to audible to bunch. He has wide curl, which is widely considered to be one of the better plays in bunch this year. And there you see the screamer from Astros. So let's talk a little bit about Astros defense here. Actually, no, this was 3-3 Cubs. So this is just your standard send 5 out of 3-3 Cub. We do have a full ebook on this on our school community as well. But as you see, he sends 5 out. This thing will scream at him, and the coverage from 3-3 Cub is really good. So 3-3 Cub is really effective, especially against trips tight end or any kind of spread set, just because you get a really favorable alignment within the play. Here we get that slant, and honestly, kind of an interesting drop there. Let's see here. All right, so right there you get this match. I want to cover that real quick. So let's explain what's going on here with this match. So one of the reasons why Astros in this specific coverage or specific defense is to call this coverage. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see this really, really, really good match by this quarter. That is a do. So this is an inside quarter. They put this guy on a seam flat, and then they put this guy on an outside quarter, and this matches everyone on the trip side really, really well. So you basically just have to defend the tight end. So that coverage, and I've broken that coverage down in my ebooks. I've broken that coverage down before in other places. That coverage right there really does play very well. Okay, I don't think Prodigy is in. I'm gonna figure out what playbook he's in. So Astro ends up getting the stop, and now he's kind of in full control of this game. Is it in the Raiders book? I think. Yeah. Okay, so Prodigy's in the Raiders offensive playbook. Has bunch in there. Astro scores. Do some drawings here. So we'll see see what Prodigy does. I think this game does. I think Prodigy does actually make kind of a run here or a push. But you're seeing some of the problems with Trips tight end this year. It is good. Trips is always going to be good. And there you see there's that combo again. I love this. Look at that post, slant, boom. Post corner, drag. It's just such a good combo. Okay, so trips tight end flex. I believe this is 100% pretty confident this is in Raiders book. But you watch. So this motion, it does cancel that quarter stuff. So that's why these cheap motions are so valuable. They kill cover 2. And right there, ooh. So the cheap motion and trip specifically is valuable because it kills cover 2 to the tight end side, which is really effective for taking away tight end corners. It also kills the match quarter that I was just explaining out of the seam flat stuff. So some of the most fundamental ways that somebody wants to try to play defense against trips, they can't really do that against the cheap motion in this trips tight end flex. And then also you have one of the best routes in trips every year is the tight end post. But in this year's game, the tight end post is like that. And so it's just not as effective. So here we go. This is the cover 3 beater. And you see there's his match quarters as the tight end corner. Yeah, I think this Raiders book is really good. Because you also have the regular trips. It's almost like a Patriots trips. And I think McDaniels isn't. I'm pretty sure McDaniels is still over at the Raiders. So yeah, the motion wide post is the reason you run this book, and the reason you run the formation. Here you see here's a standard trips combo, verticals with a tight end drag. You might put the tight end in a corner. Nope, tight end drag, crosser, and there you see there. That's that match quarter. It's just hard to beat that match quarter. It like looks like it's gonna be open, and then the match just kills it. And I want to say he's in Samuel Blitz as a base, so he's seam flats. He's got this guy probably on like a, I don't know what that dude's on. Okay, a little man up here. Look at that. There's that cloud to take away that tight end post. Really good defense by Stroh. And Prodigy's trying to basically just work this ball down the field and try to take as much time as he can. This should take to the 2. Yeah. So you see this this audible over a bunch to Y curl probably. Astros choosing not to flip. Kind of interesting. Some of the reason why you would do that is just you don't want to, I mean, it's hard to get your adjustment set up once you flip. But yeah, you basically have this post, motion wide post play. You have verticals, and then some other kind of unique things. But I think that was a hot routed post. That post actually fried. I'm starting to notice that the hot route master post on the outside receiver, if you don't stem him, if you just keep him at like you just hot route a post, snap the ball kind of thing. I feel like that post is probably one of the best man beating routes in the game. The other thing about Raiders book is you have some pretty good runs. You also have ace slot offset in here. Man, that Raiders book, I'm going to have to look at this. I love this stemmed corner out of level sail. Trying to get this short corner to the corner. If it's a cloud, then we can throw the running back, try to turn up field. You see here, running back's open. Touchdown. So that's a big drive for Prodigy. And now kind of pressure, not pressure, but if you're Astro here, you really want to get 7. You got plenty of time in this game. In this game, a minute is a long time. Just with how much the sidelines are able to be thrown. He's got 1 timeout, minute 20. He's probably thinking, I can go score 7 here. Prodigy actually changes his defense, and he goes to the traditional double mug look. And so you're going to see these disengage blitz. Throw that tight end. Good read by Stroh. About midfield. And again, you got this cheap motion here from this formation as well. That nice high ball. Another thing you'll see these guys do a lot is they will high ball. If it's a situation where they have a little slight step on the player crossing the field, they might highball it to kind of get it some more leverage over the defender. Do a little tight end short corner. Looking for that there, that drag, and you see how. I mean, you're just seeing this drag just wears out, and I'm telling you, man, if you truly work the underneath in this game, it is so hard to guard the underneath and guard post routes and stuff like that. Little inside zone. Astros in a position, as I said, I mean, he got down here in basically 40 seconds. Here you just want to make sure you take Prodigy's timeouts. At the very least, you want to try to, you really just don't want to give him the ball back at all if you can help it. And honestly, a field goal here is probably fine for Astro. He really likes this jet pass. Astro's always going to find some little things that really nobody, very few people know about offensively. Things like the jet touch pass or a specific red zone combo. Those are some of the things. So you see how he's motioning here, and look at this wheel route. There's just nobody over here. Now look at the combo. We should see a slant here. Yeah, you see that slant, and then there's the hitch. And high ball, high ball, high ball, high ball, high ball. Very, second time he's thrown that combo pretty much. And it's been pretty much the same result every time. So Prodigy's going to have about 18 seconds left before half. See if he can do anything. Kind of how he just chooses to play it. And I mean, you do have one timeout. So, I mean, you throw a get a big pass in the middle field. That could be a kind of setting that up here. Tries to throw right at him. Almost an interception. If he catches that interception, that's probably a field goal for Astro if he's able to turn around with that. And that would have been a huge change just kind of in the trajectory of the game, because that could have very close to a 3-possession game at that point. Going back to that PA cross play. Seam streak. That's a good read. The reason that's a good read is because I wish you would have done that the first play. But the reason that's a really good read is because now you have 4 seconds, but you've advanced the ball up to here. So now there's a little bit more of a realistic throw for you. Looking for kind of an interesting combo, though, I will say. Just going to throw it up one-on-one. Paul Krause going to say no way. And that's going to be the half. All right, so jumping into the second half here, Astro is going to be on defense starting out. And Prodigy kind of coming out in a random formation there with an inside zone. I think that was that split. Was that split pro? And I'm going to get back into his trips. Haven't really seen much from his offense. I mean, but sometimes, and this is a cool combo here, almost a pick though. I'll throw right at a 3-rec. And so pretty much very early in this first possession, he's already on a 4th down. And you see, I mean, it's not necessarily, I don't know. I'm trying to think what's going on offensively for him. But it's really just, like, look at this. It's got this backward zig. I just feel like you can't. Yeah, like I mean, these windows are tight windows that he's throwing into, and it's to a degree. I feel almost, I don't know if it's predictable. I don't think that's the best word. I feel like it's just there's not enough. He's not attacking enough areas on the field, and he cannot beat man coverage or the match that Astro is employing. If it's either match or man, one of the two, right? He can't. The routes don't get open fast enough. Astro's able to user a lot of stuff in the middle of the field. And so, I don't know about that throw. Yeah, there's just not much right now for Prodigy offensively. This 3rd and 20. See, the way I would play this 3rd and 20, I mean, I know you obviously, if they give you the first down, you take the first down, but the thing I'm starting to notice about trips is it's a lot of long developing routes, which is probably why. You see, if he would do more stuff like that, where it's just a quick drag in the middle of the field, high-low read. I feel like the trips guys, and myself included, like when I run trips, it's a lot of long developing routes. There needs to be more quick hitting plays. When trips was really, really good, I think at its peak, Madden 21, Madden 19. There was so many like quick hitting routes, quick hitting play calls. Now it's really big time, like it's deep corners, deep crossers, but let's work this underneath game a little bit more, like the running back streak out of the backfield. You know, when Kobo won the belt last year in trips, there was a lot of quick stuff. If you watch what he actually was doing, it was a lot of quick reads. There you see there that post beats that man. I'm starting to think that Astro might be running more man coverage, because the match coverage would not get beat by that post. Red zone position, little split close, short corner route. Yeah. See, if you streak that fullback out of the backfield, that's probably a touchdown. Split pro offset weak. There's definitely some stuff in this book. I will say I'm going to definitely be checking this book out. I like this audible and the stretch. There's the nickel corners over here. So that should be a good run. And Prodigy's one of those guys. I'm pretty sure Prodigy labs up with Drini, so he's always going to have, defense specifically. His defense is always something to look at, take a look at. He does kind of play, not similar to Drini, but in terms of just, he's got a base formation, but then he audibles around a lot of stuff that you just don't see very much. 4th and goal. Now you're kind of in a tough spot. I mean, it's going to go no huddle. I mean, pretty much has to go for this, but that's why I probably wouldn't have run the ball on 3rd down. And now look at the clock. Just let's, yeah. And now this is a huge timeout. That's a huge timeout. When you're losing in the second half, you do not want to be, you can't be calling timeouts in the 3rd quarter when you're losing in the second half. And it's just such a, gosh, I just feel like I almost rather take a delay a game there. And I do think that you see sometimes in these games, these are obviously, the best players in the world. And I do think you kind of see some in these games, like these just mental mistakes. And there, Astro is able to kind of get a little bit of pressure, forced to throw early, gets that yellow in the middle of the field, able to take that away. And now we have Astro basically just needs to get out of this area of the field, though. So throws a fade early. And I'll tell you what, one of the things that I think is interesting about Astro, I also would say Skimbo is like this. And I'm trying to think if there's anyone else like this, maybe John. But I definitely think Astro. You've seen this since Madden 22 with Astro. He never misses a streak. He never misses a streak. If you leave a streak open, he hits it every single time. Right there. I just think that's one of the more underrated things that he does that a lot of people don't do offensively, is they just never miss that streak. And I've actually heard Skimbo say this. I think one of his basic rules is on every single play he has a streak on the field. And the reason why is because if you blow a coverage, it's very easy to take the top off the defense with a streak. Looks like Stroh's going to go ahead and take this to the 4th. And this is kind of the closeout drive. I mean, this is, if he goes down, even if he's, you want a 7 here. If you score 7, the game's pretty much cooked. If you score 3, it's 2 touchdowns and two-point conversions. And obviously we saw Prodigy's red zone offense was kind of just didn't work. So, yeah, I'm always interested and almost surprised when I watch these games back and I see there he never misses a streak. Never misses a streak. And see, the other thing about Astro, a lot of times he'll, especially on these streak routes, he's reading it, if they have a step, he's going to try it. Even if you knock it out, he's going to put the ball rolling here, his receiver can catch it. Now, Astro has also been known to throw some crazy stuff. But that being said, I think he labs that stuff and he knows what he can throw and what he can't throw. So I've just always been impressed with the route combos from Astro, and just kind of the way he just the way he plays the game is kind of interesting. The corner route there on the right side, good read. And you're seeing a lot of the, he's not calling the same play, but he's calling similar plays. Well run there. And at this point, Astro's trying to take the clock. His main concern is the clock. His secondary concern is to score 7. But he's not going to wholesale run the ball. He'll still pass. It's one of his favorite plays. And, that was a bad thing. See what I'm saying? That was a very bad interception. Situationally, you take a sack, you step up, like you can't throw that pick. And I don't feel like Prodigy did anything. I mean, he switch sticked onto the quarter, which was a good switch stick, but that's just a really bad interception. That's just a really, really bad interception. And of course, very next play. What is Prodigy doing? I guess he's. I mean, he does have a step on it. I think Lawrence just underthrows it. Yeah, I think Lawrence just literally underthrew that. I mean, he did have a step on it. It sucks that you throw a pick there, though. I mean, if he catches that, if he rack catches that, if he's able to catch that and get a touchdown, that completely changes the game. Him throwing that pick right there is really bad because now this is a clear, because again, he only has 2 timeouts. So he doesn't, the lack of 3 timeouts really affects you in these clock management situations down the stretch. It's why you can't call third quarter timeouts in an MCS game. I just don't see how you can do that and win. I wish I could dig up a stat, but I bet you if you call a third quarter timeout in an MCS game, I would love to see the record. Players that have called third quarter timeouts in MCS games, what is their actual overall record? I bet you it's a losing record. Just because it's when you get down and not just calling a third quarter timeout, but also he's losing, right? He's not even losing by 1 score, but he's losing by 2 scores. The timeouts are the main thing you have, the main tool you have in your bag to be able to stay in a game that you're behind. And so I just think that timeout call was really costly for him because now Astro's able to take a lot more clock, and Prodigy's hands kind of get tied here situationally, especially with the interception. So, I just didn't love that. I love this combo right here. I love the cheat motion here against cover 2. He's got the seam streak. That's such a good route. Yeah, I'm telling you, the seam streaks are unbelievably wide open. I mean, it is. And this is also, I think, good by Astro just taking his clock, and he's still passing the ball a little bit, but at the end of the day, this is about the clock. Especially at this point, you're down here. We're not playing. We're just taking our 3. At this point, Prodigy has to start taking his timeouts. I'm surprised that he's not. I think he's waiting. I think he'll take it after this play. And yeah. Oh, he's not taking timeouts. I guess he's just done. Okay, there you go. Well, GG's, boys. That is how Astro defeated Prodigy. Obviously, it would have been tough to come back. I just felt like some clock management stuff, and then obviously just some interceptions. I mean, the main turn of the game was when Astro threw that pick, and then Prodigy threw it right back to him the next play. But a lot of things you can kind of take away from this in terms of why Tripp struggles at the highest level, I do think is because it's not able to beat the blitz well. It's not able to, and it may not just be. It might not be the formation. It might literally be just the route combos these guys are putting on the field. Whereas Bunch has a lot more quick developing stuff, takes advantage of seam streaks. So, anyways, those are some different tips and takeaways from this game. But Astro is going to move on to the next stage of the kickoff challenge.